If we're saying that an angel has no composition, then what does it mean that they saw the angel of fire and having wings? We'll go down to the Peirush. After we mentioned earlier that the Malachim have no form, how could the Nevi'im, the prophets, tell us their shape? It's all to the view how one sees prophecy, and also it's a simile, as we'll see. It means the Navi tried to differentiate and say that he's not a physical being because something that's burnt is no longer anything, and he's not heavy like the bodies, which are heavy. And it says, what does it mean, this that it says that they're made of fire and they are have wings? Because God himself is a fire which consumes. Not a fire, it's a simile that it takes in everything. He causes his angels to be spirits, meaning the closest that a person can comprehend or hear is fire and a spirit which doesn't have to be on this earth. According to the Rambam, the Malachim are shapes without a physical being. You can't see them with your physical eye. When the Navi says he saw an angel, that means he saw it only through prophecy or a dream, according to the level of both the prophet and the angel, like the heaven, or like fire, or like a person, according to the cleanliness of the soul at the time of the prophecy, as we'll see in chapter 7. And the Rambam said this before, as it says, he makes his angels spirits. That means he does the spirits, they may make some spirits to his agents in order to punish the beings that are in the world. And it says in Tilim, "B'ruach kodem tisha b'aniyos Tarshish," that with a north wind he breaks the ships of Tarshish. Or b'yemyo we find "Ruach kodem afitzem," where a east wind I shall destroy them. Also by Eish we find by Korach, Eish yotzim l'fnei Hashem v'Tochal, that fire went forth, and that means Malachim v'chol HaKadosh Baruch Hu is shlichos, and everything HaKadosh Baruch Hu does is shlichus in any way that he wants. There are those who disagree on this explanation of the Mefarish. When they explain HaKadosh Baruch Hu does his angels themselves, sometimes spirits, as it says he makes them spirits, sometimes fire, as it says they are fire. And we find in the Moreh Nevuchim, and we'll see elsewhere in Shmos Rabbah, you find this idea as well. On the main idea of the Rambam, that Nevi'im saw the Malachim only in a vision of prophecy and not in actuality, Ramban Nachmanides disagrees in the beginning of Parashas Vayera with many proofs, and he writes that these words contradict what's written and you shouldn't listen to them. But the proof, what they saw was in a dream or in a vision, and not only in prophecy. Not only the Nevi'im could see Malachim, like Daniel saw the Malach even though he was not a Navi. That here there's a disagreement with Rambam and the Ramban if he was a Navi, except for Moshe Rabbeinu. All of the prophets received the nevuah through a angel. We find by Elisha that that he was full of fear from the amount of the chariots of the king of Aram. Therefore, it's written. Elisha prayed to Hashem, and he said, "Take your eyes and see." So you see, there's a concept of a vision to see a malach, but he did not see it with the physical eye of man, but rather he saw it through a viewer. In other words, even though that the person himself is not a prophet, he can see them through a vision. Elisha told his assistant, "Open your eyes, you'll see all the malachim that are on our sides, and you don't have to worry about the hosts of Melech Aram." Here we're learning Perek Beis Halacha Hey, Obama Yifridu Atzuros Umizu, and how are they different one from the other? Rae Gann Gufen, they are not physical. If the malachim have no physical being, how can you separate between them? Because their actuality is not the same. Each one has a different level than that of his one that's below him. And therefore, because he was created in that strength to be higher than the angels below him. And that's why what makes him is individual aspect. And everything is found because of the strength of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and His goodness. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, something from nothing, and this is good for it. And that the Shlomo HaMelech hints at in his wisdom, and he says, that higher than every higher is the keeper, meaning the malachim are one on top of the other. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who causes all to be, is above them. And the Peirush explains that the malachim watch how the spheres go, and they shouldn't cease, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives them the goodness of the ways of the angels according to their levels, and if the angels will not give it further for 1 second, they would all cease, would not receive this shefa, this radiance for a moment. They would cease completely. We're learning Perek Beis Halacha Vov, Halacha 6. And the Rambam says, that's what we said, he's below the elevation of the angel next to him. We don't mean to say a specific place. Now, if we look below, it's not like a person who is sitting above the level of his friend. Like a Moshe, just as we find B'shnei Chachomim, by two wise men, one is wiser than the other one in wisdom. His level is a higher level than the other one. And that's, as we say, for a reason, that causes something to be higher than the other one. In other words, by comparison, one is higher than the other.